That morning, Cecilia was surprised by her boss's cordial behavior and was summoned for a meeting. Before entering the room, a colleague warned her to get out as quickly as possible. Confused, Cecilia now had to make a decision that would define her destiny. Cecilia looked at the watch on her wrist for the third time in the last 5 minutes. There were only 5 minutes until 9 o'clock, and she was never late for work. In 15 years at the same company, she had built a solid reputation as the most punctual and reliable employee in the finance department. As she hurriedly walked through the busy streets of downtown, Cecilia reflected on her life. At 50, she was neither rich nor famous, but she had something she considered more valuable: her integrity. Since she was young, her parents had taught her the value of honesty, and she took this lesson seriously in all aspects of her life. Cecilia couldn't help but think of occasions when her integrity had been tested. She remembered finding a wallet full of money on the street and making sure to return it to the owner. Her friends called her foolish, saying she should have kept the money, but Cecilia knew she wouldn't be able to live with a guilty conscience. Upon arriving at the company building, Cecilia greeted the doorman with a warm smile. "Good morning, Mr. George. How is your family?" The doorman smiled back. "Good morning, Miss Cecilia. They are all well, thank God. And you?" "Always punctual, huh?" Cecilia laughed. "As always, Mr. George. Have a great day." In the elevator, Cecilia ran into one of her colleagues. "Hi, Cecilia. Ready for another day of numbers and reports?" "Always, Mary. You know I love what I do," Cecilia replied enthusiastically. Upon arriving at her desk, Cecilia turned on the computer and began to organize her tasks for the day. She was known for her meticulousness with numbers and the accuracy of her reports. Her colleagues often joked that she could find a missing penny in $1 million. While working, Cecilia couldn't help but notice that her boss, Jason, was acting strangely. He seemed nervous and restless, frequently looking in her direction. Jason had never been particularly friendly with Cecilia, often criticizing her excessive rigidity with rules and procedures. Around 11 o'clock, Jason gently approached Cecilia's desk. "Cecilia, I need to speak with you. Can you come to my office in 10 minutes?" Cecilia nodded, a bit surprised. "Sure, sir. I'll be there." As she was about to head to Jason's office, her colleague Carlos pulled her aside. "Cecilia, wait. I need to talk to you urgently." Carlos seemed agitated and looked nervously around. "You need to get out of this meeting quickly. He's going to propose something terrible to you." Before Carlos could explain further, Jason appeared in the hallway. "Cecilia, are you ready? Let's start the meeting." With a racing heart, Cecilia followed Jason to his office, casting one last worried look at Carlos. Upon entering the office, Cecilia immediately noticed the change in Jason's behavior. He was exceptionally polite, offering her coffee and asking about her weekend. This only increased Cecilia's feeling of unease. "Cecilia," Jason began with a smile that didn't reach his eyes, "you have been an exemplary employee all these years. Your dedication and attention to detail are admirable." Cecilia thanked him politely but remained on alert. "That's why I need your help with a delicate matter." He took a folder from his drawer and placed it on the table. "We have some adjustments that need to be made in our financial reports. Nothing serious, just a few numbers that need to be relocated." Cecilia felt her stomach sink. She knew exactly what Jason was proposing. "Fraud, sir," she began carefully. "What exactly are you asking me to do?" Jason smiled nervously. "Oh, Cecilia, no need to be so formal. I'm just asking for your help to smooth out some numbers. In return, I can guarantee a significant raise in your salary and even a promotion." Cecilia felt a wave of indignation rise within her. She thought about all the times she had been called foolish for doing the right thing. She thought about her parents and the values they had taught her. She thought about the reputation she had built over the years. With a firm and clear voice, Cecilia replied, "I'm sorry, sir, but I can't do that. I won't falsify any report or participate in any illegal activity." Jason's smile disappeared instantly. "Cecilia, I think you don't understand the opportunity I'm offering you. Think carefully. It's a chance to advance your career and finally be recognized." Cecilia stood up, her determination evident in every word. "Sir, I fully understand what you are proposing, and my answer remains no. It takes many acts and proofs of dignity to build good character, but sometimes just one act is enough to destroy it. I'm not willing to compromise my integrity for money or position." Jason turned red with anger. "You will regret this, Cecilia. I was trying to help you, but I see that you prefer to remain the same mediocre employee as always." Cecilia remained calm even in the face of the veiled threat. "Sir, if being honest and doing my job correctly makes me mediocre in your eyes, then I accept that label with pride." She walked out of Jason's office with her head held high, but inside she was trembling. She knew she had done the right thing, but she also knew the consequences could be serious. In the following weeks, Cecilia felt the pressure increasing. Jason began openly criticizing her work, assigning her impossible tasks and unrealistic deadlines. Some colleagues, fearing for their own jobs, started avoiding her. But Cecilia did not give up. She continued to do her job with the same dedication and precision as always. In moments of doubt, she remembered her mother's words. "The truth always comes out, my daughter. It may take time, but it comes." One day, while working on a particularly complicated report, Cecilia noticed a strange discrepancy in the numbers. The more she investigated, the more irregularities she found. With a mixture of shock and sadness, Cecilia realized she had discovered evidence of an embezzlement scheme within the company. She knew she needed to act, but also knew it could cost her her job. After a sleepless night, Cecilia made her decision. The next morning, she gathered all the evidence she had collected and scheduled a meeting with the company's director. The meeting was long and tense. Cecilia presented her findings clearly and objectively, without directly accusing anyone. The director listened attentively, occasionally asking questions and taking notes. At the end of the presentation, the director looked seriously at Cecilia. "Mrs. Cecilia, I appreciate your honesty and courage in bringing this to my attention. I can assure you that this matter will be thoroughly investigated." In the following weeks, the company was in turmoil. External auditors were called in, and an internal investigation was initiated. Cecilia continued doing her job, ignoring the curious glances and whispers around her. Finally, after a month of investigation, the results were announced. Jason and 2 other executives were fired for their involvement in the embezzlement scheme. The news spread quickly throughout the company, and suddenly Cecilia found herself in the spotlight. Her colleagues who had previously avoided her now congratulated her for her courage. Many came to apologize for doubting her. Cecilia accepted everything with grace but without fuss. To her, she had done nothing beyond her duty. A week later, Cecilia was called to the director's office. With her heart racing, she entered the room, not knowing what to expect. The director welcomed her with a warm smile. "Mrs. Cecilia, please have a seat. Firstly, I'd like to thank you again for your integrity and dedication to the company. Your actions not only saved millions for the company, but also helped us restore our reputation." Cecilia nodded, a little uncomfortable with the praise. "Sir, I just did what I believed was right." The director continued, "That is precisely why I'm here, Mrs. Cecilia. We would like to offer you the position of Chief Financial Officer. We believe that your integrity and experience are exactly what we need to lead our financial department at this crucial moment." Cecilia was speechless for a moment. When she finally found her voice, she said, "Sir, I am honored by the offer, but I need to ask, this promotion isn't just a thank you for blowing the whistle on the scheme, is it?" The director smiled. "No, Mrs. Cecilia, this offer is based on your 15 years of exemplary service, your financial expertise, and above all, your unwavering character. We need someone like you to restore confidence in our company, both internally and with our clients and partners." With tears in her eyes, Cecilia accepted the offer. As she left the director's office, she was greeted with applause from her colleagues who had gathered to celebrate her promotion. That night, when she arrived home, Cecilia reflected on the events of the past few weeks. She thought about all the times her honesty had been questioned or ridiculed. She thought about the pressures she faced and the doubts she had. But above all, she thought of her parents' words, which echoed in her mind. "Character is like a tree and reputation like its shadow. The shadow is what we think of it. The tree is the real thing." Cecilia smiled, knowing she had remained true to herself and her values. She had proven that integrity, even when tested, is always worthwhile in the end. The next morning, Cecilia woke up renewed, ready to face the challenges of her new position. She knew the road ahead wouldn't be easy, but she was determined to lead by example, showing everyone that honesty and ethics can and should coexist with business success. As she entered the office on her first day as Chief Financial Officer, Cecilia was met with respect and admiration. She knew she had a great responsibility ahead, but she also knew she had the necessary tools to succeed. Her experience, her dedication, and above all, her unwavering integrity. And so Cecilia began a new chapter in her professional life, carrying with her the lessons she had learned and lived. True success is not measured only by titles or salaries, but by the strength of character and the ability to do the right thing, even when no one is watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment with a number from 1 to 5 to let us know how much you liked the story. Also, watch the video that is currently on your screen. See you soon!